Hey class, are you ready to play with some text? So before we start to play with text though, we are going to talk about what is the trickiest thing in this whole module. I will tell you that it's about length, size, memory allocation. So everything that we are going to talk about, including cstring, string, and vectors, you have to be careful about the size that you allocated for its memory. So for cstring is the hardest one because it's just a simple array and you have to basically take care of everything. String and vectors are classes, so they are defined for you to use, which will make things a little bit easier and things are more robust because care are taken to make sure that they will help you to manage memory easier. But still, there would be occasions that you would have to make sure that the memory allocated for them are okay. I would tell you that also when you debug, that might be one thing that you might want to think about. So just a warning. Two kinds of strings we are going to talk about: cstring in this video and the string class in the next one. Cstring is just an array with a null character at the end, like I said before. The directive cstring is needed only when you use some of the some predefined functions. So as an array, you don't need anything. And then for string, it's a class, and it will need, if you want to even declare a string, you would have to include the string library. So what is cstring? You've used it before actually when we were playing with the files. We either have declared the character array and then initialize it in the same line, or we would ask users to input the file name. So we'll look a little bit more in the next slide. This basically repeat myself, saying that it's a character array. It ends with a null character, so very important to remember, because I'm trying to remember you like this is the third time already. You see the null character at the end. So one way to declare a character string or cstring is to you don't have to say how many characters there are, because it will automatically, when it sees that you have how many characters that you want to put there, it will allocate enough memory and add a null character at the end. Or this is another way we've done also in your homework assignment as well. You declare it and then you initialize it. And so the size may be, what you allocate in terms of memory may be bigger than the name of the file. And so I always assume at the end is garbage because you don't know what's in there. You can declare and then initialize one character at a time, but I think there really is no reason, unless maybe you want to change one character, but not to initialize the whole thing. Notice that we are using single quote and not double quote because each is a character. This third way looks okay, but it's actually not okay. It won't compile. The program won't compile if you have a code like this. So make sure you know that you can't assign a value into a cstring by using equal. And that's why we have all these predefined functions. They are here to help you to manipulate a cstring. And if you use any of them, you would need to include the cstring library. And as I said before, you want to beware of the length of your cstring. And that's why you can see that every like copying, appending, comparing. There's another version with an n in between the string and the the action. That will have one more parameter that will tell the compiler how many characters to do the action on, like compare 5 characters, for example, for str string and comp, for example. And I'm organizing it in pairs, like this one has no number that you can pass in. This the one with the n you can. Appends the same, compares the same, and then of course we will have the length, because that's one of the most important thing to know. So let's do a short demo about how to use copy and compare for the C string. So this is a program that I wrote just so to demo to you how to play with a C string. What I'm doing is basically just copy the source string into a target string. src is a very commonly used shorthand, like jargon for computer scientists, just so you know. You will see it everywhere. And after I copy it, I will compare them, and of course we expect that they are going to be the same. Just to remind you that when we compare, it will return false if they are the same, because this function is predefined to return positive and negative numbers depends on the difference of the length of the target and the source string. And then I do the same thing, but this time I use the version that has an n in between the string and copy, so that I'm only copying, for example here, only the first 5 characters, and I'm only comparing the first 5 characters as well. So let's see if we run the program. See what will happen. And so you see it prints out the, after copying, what the target string look like. So it looks like the source string, and of course compare, they are the same. And then we copy the first 5 characters, and the first 5 characters are compared and they are the same. So feel free to play with this program. As usual, you can download it.